Hello and welcome to FM26 Unemployed to Unstoppable. It's finally here, the beat is here, we're going to get started. It's the first time we've opened the game. We're going to get through. Of course, we know we're going to play in Scotland, so I'll get through, I'll set up our manager, I'll have a click through, and then we'll start Unemployed, set up the save for a few teams in Scotland and see what we end up with. So it should be exciting times. We'll get to try out the new match engine, we'll get to try out transfers, and ultimately see if we can rise from an unemployed manager, climb through a range of different jobs within Scotland to see if ultimately we can win the SPFL. So stick around, it should certainly be interesting, and we might make a few mistakes along the way. Okay, so we're getting there. We've got a rough outline shape. We've gone for a bit of a tracksuit manager approach. Made it look as close to me as I can. Couldn't find the hat. Amateur level. I'm going to skip these tutorials. Coaching. It's quite hard to see which ones of these I've been. So, have I ever worked football in a non-playing role? No. Let's go none. Badges, no qualifications. I mean, this might be tricky to get a job at this rate, but we'll see how we get on. What do we want to be? Let's be a pragmatist. Can you choose more than one? Oh, you can. Hang on. Oh, you can get 3. So pragmatist. Oh, what do we want to do? We want to develop a young talent? Maybe not for this save. Maybe we'll just go for attacking and let's go tactician. That's kind of putting what everything is over on the right hand side. Not that we've got anything, because we are an absolutely nobody zero with no qualifications. So this could be a very short save. Personality wise, it will just be driven and disciplined. Okay. And that's it. And I think we're ready. We're ready to go. 44 years old, no qualifications, a lovely little haircut, and we will just get into the save. I will now go through and I'll set up what leagues are open. In fact, boom, boom, boom. There we go. Let's see what we can open up within the capabilities of sensibility. So we want to add a nation. Let's find Scotland. I'm surprised it's not got the not got a little recommendation one next to that. How far down we can go? That's League 2 and above. We'll leave England open just for some players, and we'll maybe open one more nation just to open some players that we can maybe pull in. Or do we just keep it fairly simple for now? Let's open. Ooh. It would be good. Let's get some Bulgarians in there. We won't make it playable. That's playable. Original mode, advanced settings preferences. Let's go for it. Let's see what we're going to get. 12 leagues and 3 nations. No database. Let's go. So I'll get through. I'll keep setting it up, and I'll get us ready for being unemployed and going on holiday until we find some kind of job up in the north. Okay, so after a little bit of playing about to find the right page, we managed to set up the holidays on indefinitely, any club, rejecting all transfer offers, and we will go on holiday. No current offers or jobs available in Scotland, so I'll just let this run through. It could be a while. In fact, I know we've got a job interview at Sheffield United. I don't think we're going to get that, so we'll decline. And I'll just keep going on holiday until we get one in Scotland, and then I'll come back and we will uncover where we're going to start our journey. So stick around. I should be back with some kind of result very shortly. Welcome back. So here we go. We have got the job at Cove Rangers up in the north of Scotland, just north of Stonehaven, I think, and not too far from Aberdeen. But yeah, I mean, not the job I thought we were going to get. I thought we'd be one division lower. I think we're in League One, William Hill League One. So a bit of a start, not quite in the bottom division, but we'll take it. That's what the fate has decided we're going to do. I think it's a fairly good club, really, in terms of Cove Rangers. Quite a big squad. It's going to take me a bit of familiarisation to get used to all these buttons. Everyone else who's playing, I'm sure you might have figured out a bit quicker than I am. It'll take me a little bit of while to get through there. In terms of club history, founded in 1922, 22 honours in there. So they've actually won League 2 once, won League 1 once as well. 7 Highland Leagues, 6 Highland Cups, an Esher Cup and Esher Shield. So yeah, I mean, Paul Hartley, previous manager history, that's who must have been who was in there before us, but we will do our best to take over. We do have a little bit of a budget in here. How I find that budget remains to be desired, but I'm sure somewhere within these we will find it. Probably best to get through all the inbox messages first. So there you go, £430 per week. We've got a 1-year contract. It's currently the 21st of December. In terms of playing time expectation, quite a few squad and fringe players in there. Again, we'll have a look at the club in a minute. Youth intake preview, which I wasn't expected too quick, but potential to be a golden generation for the club. So that is a great thing to walk into, and hopefully we can make good use of that as we move forward. What have we got? I mean, okay, we'll just have to see when they come through, but that sounds quite promising. I think we might have landed on our feet a little bit here. Goalkeepers, centre-backs, defensive midfielders. I'm not sure if I can... I mean, that doesn't look particularly great in terms of the ratings, but I suppose that's an indicator of where we are as a club at this current stage. But yeah, excited about that. Supporter profiles. What's the club vision? Avoid relegation, be competitive in the Scottish Cup, so they're both required. Competitive in the Premier Sports Cup required, but they're not judging, we must be out of that. Competitive in the KDM Evolution Trophy and grow the reputation. So most of them I think we can get. In terms of supporters, I think that's probably the same. Supporters' expectations. Play entertaining football, sign high reputation players. It might be a little bit more difficult. Avoid relegation, high tempo pressing football. So a lot to kind of unpack here. We're going to have to go in and out a few of these menus as we go along. But so far so good. We've got to choose a captain for this season. I won't do that until I've been into the squad. What's this tasks? So let's choose captain. Season's expectations. I mean, I don't think we want to finish in the playoff. We want to avoid relegation, don't we? Let's lock in avoid relegation, and we'll just go with that for now. Review captaincy. Here we go. Let's do that now then. So Fraser Fivey is the vice captain and Michael Doyle is the captain. I think we'll just leave them as they are. I don't see any reason to particularly rock that boat. So is that confirmed? We'll confirm that. Yep, happy. So we're getting there. And we've locked in them as well. So we should be able to continue. I'll familiarise myself with some of the buttons. We'll get to the squad. We'll do a bit of an assessment of where we are in terms of the players, and yeah, then we'll see what we can do in terms of tactics and what we're going to do over the next few games. So stick around. I'll be back shortly. It's a little bit puzzling initially, a bit more unfamiliar than I'm used to, but I'm sure we'll get there. And we're back with the league table, so I've navigated my way here. We're currently 10th in the league with 2 points adrift. The goal difference isn't looking particularly great. Form is in the gutter, although won the last game, not with me in charge, but looking like it's not going particularly well. I think if we get into the results, I'm sure I've seen them in here somewhere. It's not been a great, so they won the first couple friendlies. This Meganson I've not looked at yet, but he looks like he might be one of our goal scorers. The first win in the league was against Queen of the South, and then one against Peterhead. Alloa, a victory, but I mean not too many in terms of the league itself. Another one against Hamilton. So I mean, first things first is to get some league games up. We've got Peterhead next away. We've not got a particular amount of time to get through it. 27th of December, so we've got 5 days to kind of evaluate the squad, get some tactics in, get some training in, allocate the staff to the squad roles, and maybe sort this out. So let's have a look at what players we've got, which looks like a fairly substantial squad. So we can look at that's the selection info. 2 goalkeepers, a few right backs, not many. Oh, in fact, there is strikers, but David Egwebar is probably only out and out. The rest of them seem to play on wings or slightly deeper. Where is Megginson? I thought he looked. Yeah, Mitch Megginson. He's got 7 goals in 16 games, so he might be one of the ones to get us out of this. We've got a couple of players not playing too bad. Adam Emsley, a 7.28 average, and Mackenzie Strachan, although it looks like they might be injured or suspended. What's that? 1 yellow card away from suspension. Why is he in red? I would have assumed that was an injury, but it doesn't look like it. But we'll see. But a fairly big squad. That's not looking too bad actually. Under 19 wise, a couple players in there, which looks like they're in on loan. So I'm not sure why we've got a couple players in on loan, but they've been dumped into the reserves. I don't know why you would loan player for your reserve team or your under 19s. That might be something we have to look at. He's currently sat devastated in the under 19 squad, so we'll see. Training is probably something we're going to palm off to the staff initially. Dynamics, I would imagine, isn't looking particularly great, but managerial support's been alright. I mean, normally when you take over, that's quite poor when you first take over, but no unhappy players. We've got 3 leaders in there. Who have we got in there? Megginson, Yule, and 5E, who is injured. So that's not too bad. That's the squad kind of overview. That's just the duplication of them. What we need is the tactics screen. There we go. So let's not do anything too outrageous as we currently first take over. Let's go with a bit of recommendation. I wouldn't quite go so park the bus. Probably a bit of counter-attacking football is probably the way to go forward first. Try the opposition, break more. So we'll go for that in terms of the formation in possession. How do I get to the next page? Oh, here we go. So we did seem to have a couple little wingers in there. Do we go 1 DM, 2 midfielders, or 2 DMs and a back 3? I don't really like playing a back 3, so let's go for a 4-3-3 wide. Then out of possession, let us just drop the wingers and the forwards a slight bit deeper, or I mean that's the same. Yeah, I think we go with that. Let's lock that in. Let's end the tutorial. Let's just go for it. I'll have a play about with this and I'll plumb some players in. We'll evaluate the squad. I think we'll have a look and see if we can make a first team squad and some substitutes on there. Anyone who knows Cove Rangers, if you know who the best players are, please let me know in the comment section so I can at least try and get them in, or at least let me know if I'm right in who I plumb in here in a minute. And we'll see if we can get to some games and see how our fortunes may be looking as we take over at Cove Rangers, because this has potential to be a great save or one of the shortest saves I've ever had in Football Manager. So let me go and do a little bit of playing and I will be back very, very shortly. Okay, welcome back. So I've navigated myself around a bit. I'm getting a bit more familiar with it. In terms of the squad, I've just done a little bit of poking about, and I found out that the colour red now is the players who are away on loan elsewhere. So all of them players I've just put in the under 19 squad because I like to put them in there to get them out of the way. So in they all go. I think Grady McGrath, he's away. Brecon. Mackenzie's tracking, who I actually wanted to play in my first team. He's away. Where's he at? East Kilbride. So I've kind of just put the players into the first team who are available. And Fraser Fivey is a player who's injured, so that kind of makes the 20 players of the squad. So I've put them in there. So Ballant and Demas, goalkeeper, Michael Doyle, Bull and Darjan Harrington. They're going to make up the back four. Mikey Milnes is going to play in the defensive midfield role to start. Two set mid to Blair Yule and Declan Glass. I've got Michael O'Halloran playing off the right hand side, Adam Emsley playing off the left, and Mitch Megginson, who I think is going to be our main goal threat, playing at centre forward. That's essentially what we're going to start with in terms of the match day. If we get into the tactics, that's what I think we're going to kind of go with initially. So a 4-3-3, defensive midfielder, Mikey Milnes playing in there, not particularly well suited to it. Maybe just, I mean, Fivey's who I want in there, but he's not available as it currently stands. So maybe Milnes plays that deeper role for now, and we rotate him again in the future. But I think that's what we're going to start with. We're going to get to a game. I've looked, and the transfer window fortunately opens for us on the 1st of January. So we can maybe make in a transfer if we've got a particular weak area. Not sure what we can do really in terms of loans, because it looks like we have quite a number of loan players in already. Maybe we'll cancel some of them, bring some other ones in, see what's in the free transfer market that might make us a little bit stronger. But I think first we have to play a game and see how we're getting on before we do anything too drastic. So that's roughly what we're going to go with. I have been into the staff, so if you go into the club, into the staff page, you can get into the responsibilities of where I've delegated some of the responsibilities elsewhere. So in terms of delegation, set pieces, I've delegated that out to the coaches. So Gary Hake's going to take control of them. In terms of the tactics, some of the opposition instructions, I don't want Suited to do it. I'd rather Hake did it, so we'll confirm that. Training, I've passed out. Again, we'll let Hake do that. He's quite a lot on his shoulders at the minute. And same with scouting responsibilities, I put it to the chief scout. We'll see what they come in with in terms of what's available. And the more I get familiar with the menus, the more we'll maybe take charge as we start to progress a little bit. But I think it's important to get to know all the new tile system, the players, who's good, who's bad, what we need, before we take control of too many aspects of it. In terms of finances, a bit of money in there. In terms of the staff itself, there is some vacancies. So I've put out for a fitness coach, a head performance analyst. I need a couple of scouts to build up that scout team, and a couple of physios in there as well. So what I'll do is I'll get us through to the first game of the season for us, although we're already in December. We'll see how we get on in that game, see how the game plays out, see what it looks like on the screen, and how the new mechanics look. And then we'll end the episode there. Have a bit of a pause for thought, let some comments go in the comment section about Cove Rangers, and maybe some advice on what we might need following the first game. And yeah, we'll get well into the save in episode 2. We won't do too many of these. We'll go through the save, but it is our first press conference. So what does it mean to be the manager of Cove Rangers? I think excitement. Do we feel the expectations are realistic? Yeah, I think we have to aim high. We have been struggling. Board felt it was a change of manager. What can we bring in that's different? I think I have my own ideas. Do you feel confident about your ability to deliver the results required for Cove? I think we do. I mean, I think we've got a reasonably good squad. We've got a little bit of money in the bank. There's an opportunity. There's some good youth players coming through. I think we've just landed a little bit lucky. So can't wait to get started. What's to do about the job for us? Perfect time for us, really. We have to work hard for success. The next 3 fixtures, I think we need to get off to a winning start. Looking forward to getting against Peterhead, Cove Rangers. I think lots of potential. Was anything give us any doubt? No reservations whatsoever. This is the right job. Where did it all go wrong for Paul Hartley? I don't think we can discuss that. We can make some improvements. We've got a fantastic squad. We've got a buzz around the place, and do we have a message for the fans? Yeah, hopefully we can work together for success. What's the opinion of the potential long-term success? We want to win things. Bellingham Demas is the focal point of the team now. He's a talent. Little short-staffed. We will be bringing in some staff. It's expected that Aaron Darge will leave the club. Can we hold on to him? Well, we'd like to. What would you say is styles around to people management? I think when they feel valued. Last season missed out on promotion, so we're not doing particularly well compared to last season, but I think that is the next step for us, and that ends the press conference. So next time you see us, we will be at the match day. We'll put the players out there. We'll see how we get on. All I'm looking for, really, I think, in game one is to score a goal. I think that would be a positive step. Peterhead are a little bit above us in terms of the league, but if we can get 3 points, fantastic. But I think just to be able to get some goals on the counter might be just all we're looking for at this stage. So stick around, we'll see how the first game goes. Welcome back. So just one extra injury we've got is Much is out with the flu, so our sub goalkeeper is Zed Searle, who we've not seen yet. In terms of our first ever starting lineup, we've got Demas in goals, back four of Harrington, Darge, Borland and Doyle. We've got Mills playing in that defensive midfield role, although I don't think he's particularly happy there, but until we get Fivey back, he's going to have to just make do. Ewell and Glass just in front, Halloran on the right, Elmsley on the left, and Meggins, who's going to be our main goal threat, up front. So it's looking like it might be all right. We're going to go for a counter-attack. We're going to go for a... Let's go balanced initially and see how we get on. We've got plenty of substitutes on the bench, so we've got the full 9. We are struggling for players really with them 2 injuries, but we might bring some more in. Familiarity is a little bit low. Conditions not too bad, but there's a couple players not in great shape. So Milnes is only really scheduled for 45 minutes. We might have to rotate a little bit as we get through half time. But let's get into the first match in charge of Cove and see if we can make some kind of positive impact on the league form of Cove Rangers and try and pull ourselves up the table. We won't go too much deep into the player attributes as such at this stage. I think when we get through a couple of episodes and play a couple of games, we'll just dive into them a little bit more. Let's go out and see if we can get a result. There you go. Not quite the fanfare I think you get in the Premier League from the videos I've seen, but still a nice little overview of the Cove Rangers stadium. It's looking pretty good actually. I mean, far better graphics than we've had before. Little preview of the league table. You see us down there in 10th. It's going to take something magnificent to get us out of this relegation zone, but let's kick it off and then immediately pause as we look to just play with the settings a little bit. Let's go broadcast. Let's go dynamics off. Go for key highlights. What can we go for? Let's go 1.25 speed. Do we want replays on? Yes. Yes, let's go with that and see how that looks. Okay, so every time there's a, some kind of chance, I think it goes into the 3D model. We do have a bit of an overview of how, I mean, that's going too quick for me, I think, but here we go. On the attack down the left hand side, we've got Harrington. Can he beat his man? The view's looking alright at the minute. I think we can zoom in and out a little bit. No, we can't. But it looks like Peterhead are countering us. Barry moving down the right hand side. Early chance for them then into the box. Oh, and that looks like it just clashed off the crossbar a little bit. It's gone out for a corner kick, but what looked like a chance to us early on in the game fell their way. We don't want too many more of them. Match stats aren't really popular in anything yet. I don't know why that's not got any data in it. We're 10 minutes in. I'd like to think they should start getting published. I don't know if that's maybe a glitch with the game, might get fixed as we move out of the beta stage, but I would have thought that they would give us some sort of stats. Match momentum's on there, graph history's on there. I'm not quite sure why we've not got the match stats, but one to look through and monitor as we move forward. Not sure how much I like that down the bottom. I don't know if I'll maybe just change the setting to slow it down a little bit. I don't know if it's just a little bit too quick. I can't quite make head nor tails of what's actually going on within the 2D graphs. As we get another chance, they break over the top. Ball put in, Demas handles it. And on the 27th minute, do we have a chance to make some kind of counter? How's his distribution? He goes long. Emsley's in the... Oh, he's free out there. He's taking it down well. through to Megginson. He gets a chance and it's palmed away. O'Halloran's got to recycle it. Doyle puts it back in the box again. Emsley can't quite get on the end of it, but a couple little... Let's get rid of that. A couple little early moments. We've had a highlight each now. Looking at the ratings on the right hand side, it's a lot to take in. I mean, I'm so used to FM24 and where things are and what I'm looking at that it's kind of catching me in the headlights. I can't quite look at everything all at once. The match stats is annoying me. The formation for them in possession, out of possession, and you can change them, but I'm not quite sure what I want to set them as of yet. Again, any thoughts on there and how your saves are going in terms of whether the match stats is working would be useful, but so far keeping them at bay without really creating too much. Hopefully we can get some sort of chance or at least a goal at some point in the match as we approach half time. But equally, I think I would take a point to settle down in the first match and kind of develop it on from there. But we'll see how the second half pans out as we get into our first half time, as it looks like we've survived and got a 0-0 first half. Nothing in terms of the stats that's really irritating me, but we'll see how it goes in the second half as we go in and address the team. Couple quick substitutions due to fitness. So Donaldson is going to come on in the middle of the pitch for Milnes. He was limited to kind of 45 minutes and playing out of position, and we're going to bring in Malcarist on the right hand side for O'Halloran because he's struggling a little bit for fitness. We have just given a bit of a team talk to say we need a bit more possession in the second half, and we will see how we get on. But just a bit of a feelers out initially, see how the formation's going. I don't know if we'll play counter-attack long term. We might try and get a little bit more attacking and get some goals, but we'll certainly see. We just need to get a couple of points on the board, I think, initially. See what we need in terms of the transfer window as Peterhead break out from the back, and it looks like they're going to get the first chance of the second half down the left-hand side. Some good tracking back there from centre midfield. Initially cleared, but they're going to get another chance in here. Barry in the middle of the pitch, dictating some of the play. Out to Paul. I mean, the graphics look really good. I mean, keeper made a bit of a meal of that. I think he could have caught it and give us on the counter, but again, at least it didn't come to anything as we have a goal kick, which hopefully we'll go long with and maybe pick it up with Elmsley on the left-hand side again. Up it goes. Challenging for the header. You'll pick it up. Spread out to Harrington on the left-hand side. Into Elmsley, turns it around the corner. He gets it back. He's breaking into the box. Can he get shot away? And yes, but not the kind of shot we were after. But yeah, a good little break of play there on the counter. Elmsley working well with Megginson, so maybe that little combination might be what gets us a goal at some stage in the game. But 55 minutes in, still at a 0-0. A team that I'd quite like us to beat because them kind of middle to bottom teams. Bear in mind there's only 10 teams in the division. If you say maybe the top 3 might be out of our range for beating in the short term, you're then looking at the teams from 4th to 9th. So there's not many teams within that you think is where we're going to pick up the points as Megginson plays it to Glass. I think Glass might be a key play for us as well. He looks a little bit handy in the middle of the pitch. Over the top to Megginson. He takes a good first touch, gets round and he slots it into the far corner. So first goal in our charge goes to Mitch Megginson. Lovely little ball over the top, beat his man. And I thought it was going to be a bit too tight for him to finish. Lovely ball over the top. Don't know what the defender was doing. That's a great first touch to turn him around inside out. And I thought he was a little bit too narrow at that stage, but he slotted it into the bottom corner and giving us a 1-0 lead in the 58th minute. We'll continue to play on the counter-attack and see if we can hold on to that 1-goal advantage and maybe put some points on the board, which is going to be much needed to try and settle the fans down, settle the board down. And then we'll maybe look at how we can improve the squad as we move in through the January transfer window and into the second half of the season. So don't want to get too ahead of ourselves now because there's still 20 minutes in the game and a lot can change as we've got a throw in down the left hand side. Dugout's trying to discourage us from long shots. Jewel turns his man this time, edge of the box. Can he get shot away? Yes he can, but it goes into Newman's hands. I'm not too bothered if we take some long shots at the minute because anything speculative might get us a second goal, and I don't want to commit too many players forward in a one, so I'm not going to go with that advice as it currently stands. Although they have the ball back now and are breaking down the left hand side, which I thought the highlight was going to peter out. Ball cut into the box, Barry to the edge of the box. A couple players having a couple touches here. I don't like them playing with it on the edge of the box. And they've got a goal back. The deflected shot fell to Barry. And they've managed to equalise. So maybe we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves by going a goal up. I think we've been unfortunate with this. I mean, the ball... I mean, this first shot's not particularly great from Paul at defence, not the defender, straight to him. He hits it first. I mean, that's just unfortunate. Let's skip that. That's annoyed us somewhat. I will discourage long shots because now we need another goal. Do we have... Where's shouts? Why do we have any shouts in here? Tactics, still on balance, instructions. Oh, I don't want to get too much into that just now. I don't know if we've got any shouts anywhere, which is that's something I'm going to have to look into. I would have thought we would add the shout a bit of encouragement, etc., but it's not in there. 10 minutes to go. I'm not going to make any more changes. And like I said, I'd be happy with a goal. I'd be happy with a point. It's currently where we're petering out to. Can we just nick something before the end? It would be ideal. But more importantly, I don't really want to lose a point at this stage. Because I think that we can do some business in the transfer window to improve our fortune somewhat. Into the final 3 minutes. Is there going to be one final chance here? A head in hands moment perhaps, or a joyous moment, but it looks like it's going to peter out. Yeah, so 1-1. Haller, not a particularly great game on the right hand side, but I think we've got to take that. I think we've got to look at the players we've got on in our formation. Doyle had a good game. Mills not particularly well. Glass not either. Meganson's done well, but he's got the goal, and we just need to find a way to get. I thought Elmsley had an alright game on the left hand side, but we've got to see how we go from that. So I couldn't see how many chances we created because the stats weren't there, which is a bit unfortunate. So I'm just going to put we were unlucky today. Some of them seemed a little bit motivated, but that's what we'll go with. So there we are, end of the first episode. We are at Cove Rangers. I should have sorted out the intro by now. I think it was most of the way there. I'll slip it in somewhere in the video. You should have seen it by now. I'll get through another few games, get to the transfer window, and then we'll see what we can do in terms of the squad, what areas we can improve. And again, if you think the formation's not quite right, or you've got any kind of advice from a Cove Rangers perspective, let me know. Maybe I'm leaving the best player on the bench, but I think we need to make a couple tweaks, not anything major. Maybe get a little bit more attacking, and we need to get some points on the board to pull out of that relegation zone. But glad to be in FM26, liking the layout of the game. It seems to play quite well. I expected there might have been some lag, etc. Might have been some stuttering on it, but so far so good. It's looking pretty good. We need to get into some of the other features in terms of the transfer window and the scouting network. We need to get the rest of the stuff in, and then we need to just have a really good save as we approach Unemployed to Unstoppable Scotland edition. Until next time, take care.